And I think this is one of these tournaments where your team name doesn't have to be like the captain's last name or something. Um, so players will come up with creative team names because they think they're cool, but that makes it a little bit more challenging to figure out who's on the team. Let me check again quickly. Maybe when the VuGraph operator gets here, we'll be able to figure out a link to the results. Because currently on their website, it still says that there are no scores for the teams. I think this is the player, Selway. Norman Selway, playing with some other player from England. I'll remember eventually. But this is a new face, Weiss F from, what is this, Latvia? That's not sure about my country flags. Austria, thank you. Austria. And we have, this looks like an Icelandic pair. Do they have like the first name? Is that what's being put up here? I mean, Selway is the last name. Weiss, unclear first or last name. Sometimes the name tags are not all that useful for some players. Does look like we have East-West under first names. But this is an Icelandic pair, so probably an entirely Icelandic team. And cards should be coming out soon, so that's exciting. I don't think I see Craig still. Maybe I will check in with him to see if he has an ETA or if he is just planning on sitting out in this morning's couple of sets. So I have no clue where these teams are standing, but my guess is that they're probably going to be towards the top of the table. Based on the setup from the pairs that we saw over the past few days, there are going to be 10 board rounds, which it's a little bit of like this intermediate length. Like a lot of Swisses will play like a 7-board match or an 8-board match, and I would probably say that in these 7 or 8-board matches, there tend to be, at least among like 2 expert teams, there will tend to be like 1 board, maybe 2 boards, but like more often just 1, where there's any chance of a swing. And so you'll get like 6, effective pushes, maybe like 1 or 2 umps swung here and there, some small part score decisions, but there will be like 1 board where there's a game, and if you get on the wrong side of either a 50-50 or a 55-45 or a 60-40, then you end up losing the match, and that costs you, a 14-6 loss in victory points. But over 10 boards, I think it's more likely that we'll see the stronger team pull out ahead, because there will probably be 2 or more boards that are all right, no co-caster for a couple of matches, but Kurt will be jumping on in shortly. So yeah, I think over these 10 board matches, it'll be a little bit better. And then of course, for some of the longer team matches, like the regional knockouts in the US, where you have 16 board matches or possibly 32 board matches, depending on the length of the thing, or 28 or something like that, then it tends to be much more likely that the stronger team is going to prevail. Icelanders don't have surnames, but first name and the father's name. Yeah, that's pretty common in a lot of the Nordic countries. So, you know, like last names of some of these players. Erlig's son. I'm not sure about like gender stuff, because for like male and female, I think it's a little bit different, the kind of trailing part of these names, but this is the son of Erlig is what it is, and Steiner is the son of John. And so then if Steiner goes on to have children, then the males will be Steiner's son. I think it's like a very practical way of going about naming. Females end with datir. Got it. Well, we're underway. So first board of the third match. 4 spades by east, club by north. Club by north. Okay, not alerted, but it is, looks like could be short. So one of these weak no trump types, or not weak no trump types, but one of the like play transfers over club types. And East-West find their way to spades. The ace of clubs lead does not harm the defense yet, but they are going to have to cash out at this point. So it looks pretty natural to me to switch to the Jack of Hearts, I think. But maybe a small heart will be the preference of North, or will be the preference of South. This is still not a disaster for the defense, given that clubs are 6-2, but this was a bit of a scare. I think South probably did not take into consideration the possibility that partner only had 2 clubs, and figured that continuing the Jack of Clubs would just be safe. We tap to Claire, and that's okay. But I mean, fortunately for the defenders, North was able to rough that third round of clubs before Declare was able to pitch Heart Loser. So now North will get their Ace King of Hearts eventually, probably right now. Hey, Denmark. Yes, let's go. I am excited. I hope I don't have to like flip my table at some point though, because if someone makes some very basic blunders, I might be out of here. Hopefully I'll have a co-caster at that point, and then we can at least have some commentary provided, but I will just be gone. All right, King of Hearts, getting a count signal. I mean, North should have a full count on the hand here. Ace of Hearts, and now Declare's hand is good. So down 1, a bit of a scare after that opening lead, but no harm done. On to board 2. East will pass in first seat, and if I'm right about the whole North-South open a club with just a weak no-trump type hand, then we'll see South open a club on this one. I mean, it's very possible that North was just breaking partnership discipline on the previous board. Hey, Zapsnuff. Glad to have you here. Welcome on in. Way more fun live, for sure. Okay, so South opens a no-trump. I'm not sure the range. They have 14, but supposedly the 12 count on the previous board was not a no-trump opener. Maybe it's conditional on vulnerability. transfer to hearts. And I imagine North is going to bid... Okay. They have a little bit of a conventional thing. It's pretty normal at high levels, I would say, to play these like retransfers after you've transferred into a major, just to make sure that the no trump, the strong hand declares basically everything. So 2 no trump here are transfer to clubs, and 3 clubs would be a transfer to diamonds. And I'm not exactly sure if there's a method to invite a no trump. Maybe 2 spades would be like a transfer to 2 no as an invite. But of course, that extra space would not be available over a transfer to spades in the first place. Either way, that's what's going on here. 2 no shows clubs, 3 hearts confirms hearts, and 4 hearts bids game. You religiously watch the YouTube vids, so happy to catch the stream now and then. Yeah, I mean, normally I stream kind of evenings for me, or afternoon, evening, and I know that's not the greatest time for everyone, depending on where you live, but here, this tournament's in Europe. I get to be up bright and early to cover the event. West kind of naturally leading the singleton against 4 hearts. Makes sense to me. Although this is going to pick up the club suit for declare. So I think declare should probably just win this and pull trumps. I mean, obviously win the ace of clubs. And not that important of a point because it's not going to cost the contract going down at this time. But declare should lead the 10 of hearts to the ace on the first round. This will unblock the suit and prepare for picking up a potential jack 4th of hearts in West's hand. Otherwise, if declare leads a heart to the ace, a heart to the queen, East shows out, you lead the 10 of hearts, West doesn't cover. And now there's no way back to the North's hand. A club will get ruffed, a diamond, East will win the ace and give partner club ruff, and on a spade, West can hop up with the ace, no guarantee they will, and then cross to their partner in diamonds to get the club ruff. So only going to be a matter of over tricks at this point, but good technique should see declare through. Taking a lot of time at trick 1. I'm not sure I understand the long think. Maybe... Okay, here's a theory. Maybe because it's imps, declare doesn't care about the club ruff, right? They're losing the ace of spades, they're losing the ace of diamonds, and if they give up a club ruff, then that's still 10 tricks. So maybe on the off chance that this opening lead happens to be from like jack 8 4th or 10 8 4th, in which case West just has a natural club trick, declare is going to win this and immediately play the queen of spades, planning to ruff a spade in their own hand. Because otherwise they might be at risk of losing a natural club trick, the ace of diamonds, the ace of spades, and a trump. Ooh, 7 of hearts. Hopefully a Vugraph error. But we're getting into the position where it might be time for me to just shut down stream and leave. We'll see if there is a Vugraph error in just a second, because the Vugraph operator will not be able to play it to the next trick. Nope. Nope, not at all. Declare just bungled the hand and ends up giving up an over trick. That's okay. I mean, these things can happen at imps, right? I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of players prefer to play imps, because kind of what I would call a fairly large mistake on this board at match points does not really cost you in an imp context. Other table did make 11 tricks, we see in the top left. And here Declare is going to wind up with 10, still losing both of the aces outstanding. Defense doesn't even need to be all that careful. I mean, I guess they can't play 2 rounds of diamonds now, otherwise... No, they even can. There's just no way the spade's going away. It's times like these we really just want to claim for the players. So 1 imp going the way of Betty, I've forgotten the, or Betri Frakkar maybe? I've forgotten the name that East-West are playing under. But they've struck first, so Iceland up 1-0 after 2 boards. And these over tricks will matter in the 10-board match. I mean, if you get like 2 or 3 over tricks here or there, you can afford to lose a part score swing and still be, you know, pretty even. But ultimately, this is going to be decided by which team bids to the right games and which team plays the hands well enough to make those games. So South passes, West has 16, likely a no-trump opener in their system. North doesn't have anything to say. East will, I think, just transfer to spades and bid 3-no is the most practical choice. Like, it is 9. Sometimes your partner has 15. Sometimes you go down because your spades are a little bit weak. But that would have been the plan. Obviously, West had other ideas with their 5-card trump support. So 4 spades by West will definitely get the king of clubs lead, setting up a defensive trick, although I don't think it will ever be taken. Looks like 11 tricks once again. The jack of diamonds being onside is good news for Declare. So a club can go away, and Declare just needs to lead up to the queen 9 of diamonds twice to pick that suit up for 2 losers. Some of the pauses here might just be like the opponent's asking about the auction, because obviously 3 spades, a little bit of an unusual bid after the transfer. You want to make sure that you understand your opponent's agreements, and possibly some negative inferences, like, is 3 spades the only way to super accept, or do they play like 3 of a minor, would show doubleton, for example. Would they play 2 no trump as a different way of super accepting? Feels like Declare is being a little sloppy about managing entries on this, because now they have to play 3 rounds of hearts pitching the club, and they can rough the club then, and they will eventually have the queen of spades to get back over there for a subsequent diamond finesse. But either way, 11 tricks, same as were made at the other table. So another push board. Feels like both of these teams are playing somewhat down the middle. Which I think is probably good strategy, at least for the first few matches. Like, regardless of whether or not you think you're the stronger team or weaker team in a lot of these situations, for the first several rounds of a Swiss, you should probably just play your normal game and see how it stacks up against the rest of the field and the opponents you're playing. And because sometimes like players will go in and be like, oh, we're the underdog, we need to start swinging like crazy, and then they just lose a bunch of matches by 20 and now they're way out of it. Whereas if they'd come in and played their normal game, one hand going their way as opposed to the opponent's way, as I talked about this earlier, that's enough to swing the match. And that could easily result in them, getting 14 victory points or something against a team that would otherwise beat them in a much longer match. So West opens a diamond on board 24, hard overcall by North, negative double by East. One spade by South is, I think, a pretty strange bid. Like, they have found their club fit, but South should have been able to bid a no trump if they really wanted to get involved in this auction. Like, when East has showed this 4-card spade suit, given that you have ace empty fifth and shortness in your partner's heart suit, I think I might have just passed as South and let the opponents continue the auction, whatever that may have been. I mean, the opponents might have ended up in one spade, as the cards lie. But here, North-South have pushed on to 5 clubs, which has absolutely no play. It looks to me like South just has caught imp fever on this hand. Like, they looked at their hand and they fell in love with their distribution, 5-4-4, and they just didn't really reconsider as the auction was dragging on that their hand is actually a lot worse than it was before the auction started. Like, a void in partner's heart suit is terrible. Partner didn't show 5-5 in hearts and clubs, so you only have an 8-card club fit. You have so few high cards. East has your spades locked up. Now, this might only be down 1 after ace king of diamonds and a diamond ruff, because the roughing finesse against the ace of hearts will work out for declarer. But still, I don't think there's any reason South needed to push all the way up to the 5 level with a misfit and no extra trump length and a bunch of length in the opponent's suits. Maybe I'm being too pessimistic. This does not look like a hand where I would want to play in game. I mean, if I had bid a spade and heard partner bid 2 clubs, I would be like, great, we are good here. Let's play 2 clubs. I am happy. Partner had the chance to jump to 3 clubs. Partner had the chance to make a takeout double over a diamond if they had extra values. It does not look like that's what's going on. East feeling the pressure a little bit, getting squeezed on that ace of diamonds. I mean, obviously they can't rough partner's ace, but pitching a spade allows declarer to rough the spade suit good. Pitching a heart would allow declarer to rough the heart suit good. I think declarer will take the roughing finesse and hearts. Like, obviously it's not that likely to work given West's opening bid, but maybe it's starting to get more and more likely. I mean, East doesn't have a spade sequence, so king, queen, or queen, jack, which means West has, at least 1 spade on her, but more likely 2 of them. West has already turned up with the ace, king, and diamonds. We're going to find out about the jack of clubs as we pull trumps. Uh, you know, maybe that spade pitch actually gives Declare an opportunity to play for a different plan. Because they could play ace of clubs, club to the king now, and when the clubs split 2-2, they ruff a spade. They've noted East spade discard earlier, which means that, assuming East has 4 spades for their negative double, spades will be set up and the jack of diamonds is a winner. They would not need the roughing hook and hearts, but that plan does require clubs to split 2-2, and I don't think there's any guarantee of that. It does seem quite a bit more reasonable to just take the roughing hook and hearts. I bet North is actually kind of... Oh, never mind. Oh no, that's not the play. That was not the play. I guess we're going down 2 then. So a diamond comes back, ruffed, and now Declare actually needs to take the roughing hook and hearts because they have no... I mean, I guess they have a sensible alternative. Ruff a heart low, ruff a spade, ruff a heart low again, and then hope that the trumps split, but yeah. All right, 2 down. Add that to the 130 from the other room, and this is going to be 6 imps, I believe. Going the way of the Betri. I wish that I could see the team names somewhere. Can I click on this? No. Betri Frakkar. So they're up 7-0, and now that is like a sizable swing. And these 10-board matches, I mean, the end of the match comes up close or quickly on you. I think Zepsnif, yeah, Betri Frakkar is the team name. I don't know what it means. I'm sure that it's some sort of Icelandic something or other, but it is unfamiliar to me. You know what? I could probably look it up. Let's look it up. It is, so it stands for Better France. Okay, my translate said Better French. Better France makes sense. Maybe it's a bunch of immigrants from France. It's possible. Well, board 25, so 6 boards to play. Still plenty of room for Selway to make the comeback, but it's not a good start for them, and it does look like they're getting a little bit outplayed by the East-West pair in this room. So a club by North, 17 count. Spade by South, maybe denying a major. Looks like they are playing some sort of like weak no-trump-ish type system with transfers over a club. 1 no by North shows this like 15 to 17. Pass, and West balances in with 2 hearts. Oh my. Whoa! Why are East-West in hearts? What are they doing? No! They've done so well! And yet, here they are throwing their entire lead back away. Why are you vulnerable against not? Just let the opponents play a no-trump. Oh no! Like, East couldn't act over a club. There's no way West should believe that This is their hand. Oh my god. I think South is not sure what's going on in the auction, but South really needs to understand that West didn't bid over a spade, so West doesn't have, a good hand. And sure, maybe your agreement as partners double as takeout here, but you need some way to actually punish the opponents. Usually. I've been told to simmer down on this topic a little bit. I like getting the opponents whenever they step out of line, and people tell me that like sometimes you just have to let them get away with it. So I'm grudgingly going back on this statement, but like, you got to know what's happening here, right? Like, East didn't raise 2 hearts to 3 hearts directly. It doesn't seem like the opponents are confident about their 2 and 3 heart bids. It looks like they're just playing match points and hoping to pull a fast one on you. There we go. South is passed. I mean, I assume this is good for North-South. I haven't even looked at the hand, but like, just based on the auction, this is insane. Like, I would double this auction without looking at either of my hands. Oh, you think it's maybe a play on the national flag colors because they have, like, everyone has like red, white, and blue as their flag colors. That's just like a world thing. You're required to, if you sign up for the United Nations, to have your flag colors be red, white, and blue. I mean, it kind of feels that way sometimes. So we do get a trump lead, and I think this is probably going to be a reasonable start for the defense. Now, Declare does have one thing going for him, which is that the clubs are 3-3. Well, and the trumps are 3-2. So I guess it's possible that Declare could, like, win the 9 of hearts or win the king, win whatever. Go ace of clubs, club rough. Heart towards the jack as North pulls some trumps, and go club rough, spade up towards the king. And, oh, well, now that the king of spades is getting knocked out, I think this is not going to work. I wonder if that line of play actually would have gotten Declare out without too much harm. I mean, how many losers are they going to have at that point? 2 spades, 2 diamonds, 2 spades, 1 diamond, 1 heart. Oh my god, could Declare have made this if they just played for 3-3 clubs? Wait a second. Wait. I guess no. The defense probably could come out on top, but they might have to give Declare the diamond king. I think North might need to switch to like ace and a diamond or something at some point. Wow. Well, I mean, now that Declare has kind of like gambled his entire position on like the ace of diamonds being with South, I don't know why you would do that. This is going to be a nightmare for them. Yep. South does well. Queen of spades. I'm not sure I like North overtaking with the ace. I think as North I would prefer to leave partner on lead for a club through. But okay. South pitches a diamond. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be just a disaster for East-West. So not only did their bidding really kind of blow this hand, because now it's going to be 800, but then their play didn't justify their bidding. That is one thing that you really should have. Like, if you're a bad bidder, you better be a really, really good declarer. That was always the key to my success. 14 imps. Oh, man. Well, just like that, Selway has overtaken the lead. They're now ahead by 7. I do want to look, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, so I'm just going to click the double dummy button. Yeah, Declare could have made this. Look at this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, can everyone see that? Hold on. No one can see this if they're on mobile. But look at this. So the 7 of hearts led to the 10 and queen, and Declare could have made this contract by leading the 2 of clubs now and playing for clubs 3-3. Now, it's a rather complicated line of play. I think I walked through the entire thing earlier. But yeah, Declare had a chance to make 3 hearts doubled. So could have been a huge swing in the match. That isn't to say that I agree now with West's decision to bid 2 hearts and East's decision to bid 3 hearts, but they could have gotten a pretty nice result from a little bit of a botched auction. Okay, well, board 26. Diamond by East, South overcalls 1 spade. West bids 2 spades, limit raise and diamonds. 3 diamonds by East, and South decides to go quietly this time. Oh my god, I didn't even realize this. Not only did no one double 3-no trump, but like there's no way the defense could go wrong here. I mean, North could have let a heart, I guess, but that would not have been most players' choices. So the King of Clubs opening lead. We'll see the 10 from South. I wonder if North will continue clubs or switch to spades. Because I think, okay, the 8 from South. Wow, West just wins the club ace. I mean, I guess fair enough. That does make sense. He doesn't want to see a spade switch. Then he would lose extra tricks. All right, South should probably cash the spade ace in case partners void before returning the 10 of clubs here. Probably doesn't matter too much, but there it is. Ace of spades, 10 of clubs. North will overtake and cash out, and Declare does get the last 4 tricks, but that will be 3 down. Are these players like really good or nah? No, this has not been all that high-level bridge, I would say, over the past few days in these events. I was led to believe, and there are some good players in the event. Unfortunately, we only get to watch the tables that are being shown to us. So I'm not familiar with any of these players. I think Selway did okay with a different partner in the pairs over the past few days. They might have finished in like 10th or something out of the 150 or so in the field. But yeah, this, I mean, I don't know if South should double 3-0. It would have been very tempting, from my perspective, for South to double 3-0. Just confirm that your partner doesn't try anything clever, like leading their own suit. Partner leads a spade, we set up spades, we have the ace of diamonds entry, and 3-0 goes down. It does give the opponents the opportunity to run, but I think I would rather guarantee that we're going plus against their game contract than and potentially let them run to 4 diamonds and make 130 than risk going minus 600. Fortunately for South, it didn't matter on that last board. All right, 1-0 by South on this one. They have a 15 count. I am lost as to North-South's no-trump range. Like, on board 1, North opened a club with 12. On board, where was the other one where they opened a no-trump? Yeah, on board 25, they opened a club with 17. I'm sure they opened a no-trump on another board. Yeah, board 22. They opened a no-trump with 14. I don't get it. Like, what is their range for 1-0? I guess it could be 14 to 16. Would that make sense with everything we've seen so far? Probably. You were taught to double only if you can double the contract they run to. I think that's probably a good rule of thumb if you're trying to like maximize, because your hope, right, is that you'll always get the right defense. But sometimes contracts will go down depending on the lead. And I think on the previous board, if your partner had a singleton spade, they might try to lead their own suit rather than leading a spade if you don't double. And that would be the risk. Like, it would be a lot different from my perspective if South had ace, queen, jack, 5th of spades. Now, I mean, for one thing, we might not even have running spades. West could have king, 10, 4th. But additionally, partner's much more likely to have a doubleton spade, and we'll just lead our suit because, you know, we overcalled. But yeah, I think there's some real danger that partner might not lead a spade, and they didn't here, right? Like, they led from king, queen, jack, 6 of clubs. Now, of course, I mean, that works out fine from our perspective, but still, they didn't have to have the king, queen, jack, 6 of clubs, and they might still have chosen to lead their own suit. I do think it's a good rule of thumb, though. So whoever taught you probably taught you pretty well. What is happening on this hand? It looks like Declare is pretty close to being out of tricks. Yep. West will get to pitch a high heart at some point, but this is going to be down 2. Oh, the other table made 1-0. I was not paying careful attention to the play, thinking about other things. So this is going to be another swing. This one going the way of Betri Frakkar for 5 imps. How did the play go? They led a heart to the queen, and then they got the king of clubs switch. I think most players would switch to the queen of clubs, for what it's worth. So how did they make a no trump in the other room? They got a diamond lead, and then after a spade was played, East just elected to return partner's suit. I think reasonably so. And that gave Declare all the time they needed to set up the spades. Wow. So 3 boards to go. And 6 imp difference. I mean, 30 imps have been scored over the course of the match. So West here opens a no trump with the 16 count, passes around to South, who probably will balance, showing a spade suit one way or another. Does double ever show single suited spades? Hold on a second. I don't think I've ever seen a system where double shows a long major. No, they could be playing don't, right? Isn't that what double shows in the don't convention? Double is one suit, and every other suit is two suited with that suit in a higher one? Okay. It's not a very popular convention, but I guess it's possible. So King of Clubs lead. The defense has a club, a heart, and two spades off the top. Looks like this is going to make... oh, wait, maybe it won't make. Now that I'm thinking a little more closely about it. Because Declare does have one entry to dummy, and that one entry could be used to run the 10 of hearts, taking a finesse against East for the jack. So ace of spades and a spade. Pitching diamonds. And don't you have a two spade bid available? Oh, good point. So Declare takes the diamond finesse, and East pulls a trump. I'm not convinced I like that, but I think as East I would have just returned a diamond immediately. I mean, as East we definitely want to play diamonds here rather than hearts. West under a little bit of pressure on this trick, but can just pitch a club, which seems okay. That's a diamond discard. So East switches to hearts. I really don't like that, because this might get Declare to go right. Maybe we can count some high card points to figure this one out, right? West is turned up with the king, queen of spades. The ace of hearts is 9. The king, queen of clubs is 14. And we don't know about the jack of diamonds. Oh, I hear exactly what you're saying, Zapsnuff. There are definitely stylistic differences between, I mean, countries and skill levels and all of that, just like there are in any game. I'm not sure what West is thinking about. I mean, the queen of clubs seems somewhat automatic here. Like, maybe West is worried that if he returns the queen of clubs, his partner's just going to start pitching hearts, and that's going to give away the heart position to Declare. I think for that, that's like one of the main reasons. I really would have preferred for East to return a diamond earlier. Yeah, East has started pitching hearts. Again, none of this matters. This is imps, and this is only going to be worth an overtrick if Declare gets it right. No danger of going down. I mean, Declare could cash a spade and then play a diamond to the ace and then take a heart finesse and go down. But I think that's pretty unlikely. The pace of play at both tables has been relatively consistent, at least. You know, we're through board 7 at both tables. The other table has been playing board 28 for a little while. What I really hope they don't do, though, for Vugraph, is play boards 31 and 32 and then have to remake the table in the middle of the next round. Because they did that for the pairs. Although, like, conveniently, board 32 was like the end of a segment, so we were able to take the break in between rounds anyway. I wonder if Declare is going to get this right. Again, just like a more important thing at border match or match points to figure out what's going on in the heart suit here. Okay, Declare has gone the 10 of spades route. West does pitch the club. Declare will pitch a diamond. And, I mean, East has to pitch a diamond at this point. If East doesn't pitch a diamond, it's just hopeless. So there is the diamond pitch. Oh, Declare is playing a diamond to the ace. Okay. And a heart. Oh, it's not an overcheck. This is for the contract, isn't it? Wait a second. I didn't even realize. I guess I miscounted a trick somewhere. No, I said this right at the very start of play, and then I just like completely forgot about it. But we do have a big result from the other table, so regardless of what happens here, this is going to be a huge swing going the way of Selway on this board, because their teammates, even if North-South go down, teammates bid all the way up to 3-0 on this hand. How did they get there? A no-trump and East with the 4-3-3-8 count. Couple of good spot cards, but, you know, nothing special. I like how Selway is playing in both rooms. Norman Selway just playing with both players. That seems like a little bit of an unfair advantage. You'd think that he would be able to remember the hand he held in the other room and drop the jack. And he does. He finally remembered. So 2 spades been made. I mean, that's 11 imps going the way of Selway. And they've opened up a 17 imp lead, 2 boards to play. I think they're going to win this. I have felt like East-West played a little bit better, but things all turned around on that board 25 when they got over-aggressive bid to 3 hearts. Board 26 I don't think was their fault. East opened a little bit late. Yeah, that standings command is not going to work. I apologize. It's just broken. I think their website is also still broken. Let me check. Yep, there's just their website is just broken. There are no standings, so those are just the pairs standings. I guess I could take the standings thing out of my title. You're guessing the Selway playing here is Louise Weiss Selway. Okay, possible. Yeah, maybe they do actually have 2 Selways in both rooms. She played with Florian Weiss Selway in pairs. You know what? I need to give Matt a VIP. Let me figure out how to do this. This is very important. Boom. All right, fixed. I got you. I got you. Yeah, I could probably slash VIP it. I wasn't prepared to just mess around with chat commands, so I just did it on my dashboard. It's all good. Normally I VIP people I've met in real life, and we have met in real life once in Chicago. So I think it's totally fair. I just think it looks better, you know, like if I'm in someone else's chat and I see a VIP talking, I always like look to see if they're a streamer. So now maybe I can like attract some more people to your stream. That's the idea. I don't think most of my other VIPs stream. I mean, maybe, I guess Humphreys does. Deflator mouse. How do we get to 4 spades? A club? Transfer. Okay, do they have the right range? They have a 17 count. Good, good, good. So still 14 to 16 no trumpers. A club, a heart showing spades. 2 hearts by West. 2 no. I guess that's just like the balanced no trump type thing. I hate that bid. It's fine. It's just like, you just know you're losing 10 imps whenever you do this with the 17 count. 3 clubs by South, 3 spades, 4 spades. Wait. North had 4 card spade support. Why did they bid 2 no? What was 2 no? Hold on, what was 2 no? Oh god. Okay. No, this is all fine. Looks like the defense just has a club from here. What was this defense also? Did they just like cash a couple of aces and then concede? Maybe not the strongest defense. But 620. Last board of the set. I doubt there's going to be a large swing on that one. And there wasn't. It was a push. So we need to make up, hold on, what is 17 imps? I don't know what 17 imps is a vulnerable slam swing. So that's what, like 1400 or so? Yeah, I think around 1400 points for them to make the comeback, which is possible if someone gets doubled for doing ridiculous things in the auction. Any minute now. We'll get the board on the table. I'm sure of it. Come on, VuGraph operator, I believe in you. Our VuGraph operator today has not been as verbose as the past few days. They've decided to keep all their thoughts to themselves, including any comments about what's happening at the table or otherwise. We have literal nothing going on in the chat behind me here. Here we go. Okay. There's some potential for a 17 imp swing on this board. I guess if East-West get a little bit too high in a club contract, maybe. Although that would be for the wrong side. So yeah, it's pretty unlikely, I think, that North-South dump 17 imps on this one. So heart by South, we'll definitely see 2 clubs by West. And I think as North, we just don't decide to go for a penalty. I'm not convinced. I mean, this North has decided to go for the penalty. It's probably fine either way. But here we are, 2 clubs doubled. We'll see how this goes. I think on a previous board we got the Queen of Hearts from Queen Doubleton, which was not the most effective opening lead, and we see it again here. I mean, kind of hard to blame North for leading partner suit. So I guess Declare will be able to play a 3rd round of hearts. North does get to rough in with a natural trump trick, but one of those heart losers will disappear. I mean, maybe North needed to like find the double dummy 10 of clubs lead to be most effective. Like North could lead the 10 of clubs and then maybe get in later with like the Queen of Hearts and lead the 9 of clubs, pulling all of the trumps. So Queen of Hearts goes around to the... Queen of Hearts goes around to the ace. South expecting that partner wouldn't lead the Queen Doubleton of Hearts with... in this scenario, so it must be a singleton. So that gives Declare 1 entry, and now they can take the spade hook. If they want, they could delay the spade hook for later as well, and just get to work on the trump suit. But I think they know clubs are 5-0, so there's no hurry in getting clubs going. So spade to the king. I think we'll see Declare duck a spade now. I mean, one way Declare could kind of like steal some tricks here would be to rough a couple of things in his own hand. Shorten his trumps to fewer than North has, and not necessarily for some sort of trump end play, but like maybe North ends up having to rough partners winning ace of spades or king of diamonds at a later point in play. So that's what Declare is going after. South wins the 10. Probably has not much better to do than return a heart. All right, North does elect to rough in with the 9 of clubs. I think a practical choice. You know, like you're getting these club losers eventually, or these club tricks eventually anyway, but you definitely don't want to get in a position where you get end played. And I don't know how that could happen, but I guess it's possible. So may as well take them immediately. North switches to the jack of diamonds, which I think is a good plan. So ultimately from here, North is going to end up scoring the ace 10 of clubs, and South is going to get the king of diamonds. This is going to be down 1 for 100. And if they hadn't ended up defending 2 clubs doubled, I think North-South would have comfortably landed in a heart part score, which looks like might have had a trump loser, a spade loser, and a diamond loser. I mean, North-South are making 4 hearts, is that right? Maybe diamonds are a little bit too tenuous, so you might end up losing a second diamond. You don't have great places to park it, and the communication in the black suits isn't all that great, so you can't really count on 2 black suit pitches from your own hand. But yeah, I mean, playing in a heart part score would actually score better than two clubs doubled, going down just a trick. Why did Declare take the diamond finesse? Uh-oh. Hold on. Is there any chance Declare goes down 2 now? I guess not. If South returned a heart here, Declare could pitch a diamond. Man, that was a scary thought, though. Why is Declare taking that finesse? That seems crazy to me. It has to be right to play a diamond to the ace now, but I think Declare has a full count on the hand and realizes that it doesn't matter. But you could get into a situation where if you play the queen of clubs, North will win the ace, play a diamond, and now you have to guess what to rough back to hand. Maybe. I guess not. North just always has 2 natural trump tricks. Never mind. Jeez! 2 clubs doubled made in the other room. Oh no. We can quickly look through the play while this table concludes. We get the same queen of hearts lead. Heart back to the jack. Spade to the ace. And a third heart ruffed. Now the jack of diamonds to the ace. Oh, and a diamond, and South duck the king. No! South, what are you doing? Oh, no. Oh, boy. I'm still not convinced that going after a penalty at the 2 level is the right thing to do with North's hand. But both tables went for it, and it resulted in a 7-imp swing. You know, if West had bid 3 clubs, sure, I understand, we go after them. But here we do have a little bit of a fit for partner suit. So I wouldn't expect to collect a large penalty, and as it turns out, we don't. All right. So that is going to be a 24-imp victory to Selway.